Hi, this is India with Bags and Lifestyle. It was a little bit loud, but hi. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching another video of mine. And today will be a how-to video. So for my new people, just a quick message here to let you know what my channel is about. I talk about handbags, usually with a pre-owned twist to it, but I also cover unboxings and product reviews and things like that. The lifestyle umbrella covers anything else that I feel will be how-tos, helpful tips, anything that I think will be something helpful to share with someone else. So, any of that sounds interesting, definitely consider watching another one of my videos and also subscribing as well as liking this video. So, we'll get into today's topic, which will be a how-to. So, this video sparked a inspiration for me, because I did try to do a how-to clean or wash your handbag video before, and I don't remember whether I actually did a good job of that. And I wanted to show a live kind of like recording, but I couldn't get the angles for that. So I'm just going to run through step by step how I got rid of the stains from this handbag. I don't even remember the name of it. I've had it for several years, and this is a Kohan kind of beautiful snake pattern bag. So by now, and as well as in the thumbnail, you should have seen photos of the horrible stains that were on the inside of this bag. And so I had to get rid of those. I just really wanted to try. I just really need to get rid of those. And I'm not even sure how long they've been there. I haven't used this bag in years. So it probably had been there for a while. So I'm just going to show you the final result now that you've seen the beginning. I'm just pulling out the lining here so you can get a better view of it. And so this is the end result of the steps I'm going to take you through. So that way you can see that it works. So look at that. The pocket, I had shown a photo of the interior pocket. There is no signs of any staining going on. I'm trying to like move back because it's a little bright on this side. It's getting dark over here where I am. And then this pocket here was heavily stained. Good as new. Interior pocket. I'm going to flip that out so you can look at that too. Look at that. No stains at all. So what I'm going to tell you works. Now, quick disclaimer here. You should always test all of these products that I'm going to use on a spot on your handbag, where if it does damage it, or you see any type of just things that you would prefer not to see have done to your handbag, definitely test it on a piece that is in a hidden spot. So I would suggest like the bottom of the handbag, or maybe like a portion of, I don't know, a tag or something like that where it's not obvious. So that way you don't end up ruining your whole bag. Now, on to the steps. I'm going to quickly grab the items I have, and then we'll go through the steps. Oxi Clean. So this Oxi Clean, there we go. I think that looks better. So this is the Oxi Clean. It's the gel stick. I don't remember the price of this, but it's rather inexpensive. So make sure you get this. What I have found, and as the video had suggested that I watched before this, it doesn't really damage leather. Like I said, test it out on your stuff. But I've used it so far on newer Coach handbags, vintage Coach handbags, full leather with the vintage Coach, and then also on this bag, as well as maybe like a Dooney and Burke. So I've used it on a variety of different bags, and I love the fact that because you can't really get away with hiding your bag, hiding the leather from all of your items. So like, for example, what I'm talking about there is kind of like, you see how this interior pocket is lined with, I'm trying to get in a good angle because my ring light is bright, but basically you can see here, this is a trim of leather. So it's leather trimming on the inside of this bag. And so even when you're cleaning even if you don't have leather trimming on the inside, even when you have the lining, it's almost impossible to not expose the leather of your bag to this gel. So I have not seen it have an issue so far. I will say that. So I use this. I also use this brush. Basically, this brush is kind of like, it's rough enough where it's it's kind of like in the middle. So it's the perfect like soft hard brush basically. So you don't want something where it's going to tear holes in your leather or give you heavy scratches, but you want something that's rough enough so that hard enough so that way you can use this on things like lining, jacquard fabric that like the signature print bags of Michael Kors and Coach are known for having. You want to be able to use it on that. So this is what I've used it on. I don't try to use this to scrape on leather. So I would not suggest trying to get a stain off of leather with this piece, but definitely for your lining or for your fabric or canvas bags, get a good brush like this so that way you can get in there and do the little circular motion to really dive in there and get that stain out. So in addition to those two things, I did buy a pail and just a big enough pail where it's several gallons so that way you can use that to soak your handbag. Now, if you have a water basin or something like that where you wash pets or something, you can use that as well. You can also use your tub if you want to, but I found that it's easier to use a pail so that way you can soak the item in there. Now, let's go over the steps. So to get the stains out of that bag there, what I did was I applied the Oxi Clean on every area of the stain, and I allowed it to kind of like touch each other on sides. Let me show you what I mean when I say touch each other. So basically I would do like this to kind of like mix one side of the gel into the other side where it didn't have gel, and I let it sit. So for this stain here, since I didn't know how long it had been there, I didn't mean to do this, but I just want to point this out just to let you know how you may not have issues with your bag if you do the same thing. But I let it sit for a week and a half, 2 weeks. I didn't intend on doing that. Usually I would use the Oxi gel and I would let it sit on there for like a day, full 24 hours, and then come back and start working the stain out. This time I did let it sit for a week and a half. I wasn't shy about where the gel went. So the gel did go on this leather. The gel did get exposed a little bit to the trimming here. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And none of the trimming, none of the leather is messed up. I definitely will say that. So it does seem to work well on stains, but leave your leather alone. Now, I said does seem, so I can't speak for everything, but definitely in my experience, it has not been an issue, especially when I said that I had left it for 2 weeks. All right, so after I let it sit and soak in, I then will reapply it just before I'm about to work the stain out. And the reason I do that is I like to just add a fresh coat of the stain remover, so that way I could use that with a little bit of water to start really working that stain through. So like I said, you'll just put the stain, the gel on, leave it for like 24 hours, and then come back, start working the stain. So what I will do is I will put a little bit of water on this brush, and then I would have the coating here, basically of the gel. I'm going to try to angle this down so you can see. And then I started doing it in circular motions like that. And just working every piece of where I saw that stain. And just keep working it with water. It's going to foam and, foam up and everything like that because it's, it's a soap basically. But you just work in a circular pattern and really make sure you're working that stain out. So after you do that and you feel fairly comfortable that most of the stain has been worked out, then the next thing that I do is I filled up my pail with a teeny weeny bit of detergent. So I use laundry detergent that's made without any dyes, like no dyes are in it, no perfumes, nothing like that. So pretty much that laundry detergent that you would get that is made for people with sensitive skin or children, you want to get that. So no scents, because what's going to happen is you have something with a scent, it's going to end up baking into your handbag. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to walk around having my handbag smell like a laundry pail. I want it to have no smell at all. So that's why you want to use a scentless detergent. Can't get it out today. All right, so after I do that, I just put an itty bit in the water, let the water soak up, bubble up, and then I drop this puppy all the way in and let it soak. I let it soak for 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the max. And then if it's a really, really bad stain, I will pull it back out and work it some more. With this, because I left it so long, I didn't have to do a second working. But I did want to mention that in case you do have to do another working of it. Go ahead, let it soak for a little bit. Let the surfactants and all of that stuff start, pulling things away. And then those really hard, tough spots, work it in more. Work your circular brush, work it in some more, and rinse your bag. So the next step is, once you finish soaking it and then working the stain out some more if you have to, is to then rinse the bag under running water. So I rinsed it under like a lukewarm to cool running water, and try to just like twist it as much as I can to get all of the soap out of it. And then after I feel fairly comfortable that I got pretty much all of the soap out of it, I stick it back into the pail. Now make sure you rinse the pail out, because it's going to have remnants of soap and stuff like that in it. So rinse the pail out, stick this back in, soak it under more water. And what I did was I actually used a jug, because what you'll notice is that sometimes your bag will start floating. So you really want it immersed under the water. So basically I would take something heavy and just make sure you sit it on top of your bag, so that way it stays under the water. And then you're going to soak it for 10 more minutes. After that, you're going to take it out, wring it really good. And then the key piece here is going to be to not let your bag dry flat. You want to let your bag dry. Like, notice it's pretty much got its shape back. Pretty much it's a bucket bag with hardly any structure. But anyway, the key thing here is, after you get the stain out of it, you want to air dry your bag, but you want to make sure you stuff it so that it keeps its shape. If a bag dries flat, it is really hard to get it back to the shape, especially when we're talking about a leather handbag. So the key thing there is going to be to stuff it. So what I usually do is I will mix stuffing. All right, so those plastic bags you get from the grocery store? I just basically ball up a bunch of these like this, layer these first on the bottom layer, and then stick your plastic bags on top of that. And then, if you have enough, stick more of these a little bit on the top. So you have this kind of parfait of absorbent fabric, plastic, absorbent fabric, like that. And then you're just going to, usually I just take a hanger and I will hang the bag on the hanger and let it air dry. And it's going to take a couple of days, so don't think you're going to wash your bag and then get it to, like, it'll be ready for you to use tomorrow, because it won't. You're going to need a couple of days to let it dry. And then when it's mostly dry, what I will do is then pull out the contents of the bag and then let it air dry the last bit with the bottom layer of the soaking little cotton claws, basically, on the bottom to help keep it shaped, but allow a little bit more air to get into those pockets where you had it stuffed and it couldn't get in there really well, to allow that to happen. So it probably could take you a good maybe 3 days for it to dry, 3 or 4 days, but definitely enough time to let it dry. And then it's good as new. So you see this bag, and now you did not see any stains with it. So let me know if you have any more questions. I will be happy to answer those in the comments down below. Definitely don't forget to like this video, share, as well as subscribe if you choose to. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and I will talk to you again soon.